Hey guys, welcome back to Wise Kracks. I'm back in Vegas for my little Florida trip. We have Jon Orlando here in Vegas. He's over at the Cosmo. And Randy, you're in Colorado, correct?
Yeah, I kind of wish I was in Vegas. I love March Madness this time of year, but actually got tickets for opening round, so I'm going to the first two games in
Oh,
Denver,
wow.
Wow.
Montana
Nice.
Grizzlies and Wisconsin, and then the battle of the TC or VCU and BYU in the second game.
Wow, I got VCU in that game, plus 3.5. I got a pretty good line, but yet the market came back and it looks like it was threes. I don't have my screens up right now. But anyway, yeah, no, I had Alan Boston on a special edition of Wise Kracks the other day. Got a lot of views, man, on Twitter. Got so many hits on Twitter. So yeah, it was really people really liked it. As a matter of fact, Randy, you commented first to me. Like you came right back to me. You said, "Hey, that was a good breakdown." Boston has had some real success early in these tournaments in the past, and especially those opening numbers. As you see, we got to a lot of those opening numbers. I know I sent out a lot of plays that got some really good line movement and early. As a matter of fact, it's such an efficient market right now. It's going to be such an efficient market tomorrow. I mean, I should say, but there are still some opportunities in first half. First half, Randy, I got to tell you, I was pissed off today. I woke up this morning again. Here we are, 24 hours before the tournament. No sports books had first halves up again. I was like, what is going on here? It's a tournament. So they slowly started putting them up.
Only the Thursdays, not the Fridays.
What is going on? I don't remember that, by the way. I don't remember that being so careful on March Madness teams in the first half. I don't remember it being like this. And literally, we had only MGM was up on first halves. I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. I really don't. DraftKings, MGM, and maybe it was Bet Online or something. It was like
Yeah,
nobody
that
had
brought
first
back a
halves.
lot of good memories seeing you in Boston. John doesn't know this, but the first time I ever met Bill was like 2004 or five at Alan Boston's house back in the day. And
Yeah,
and that was the first
you're
time I
right.
met him. We watched some of the opening round games there on Thursday, and he used to have a party.
Alan
He had a
had a
big
big
catered
party,
party.
catered party, barbecues, that beautiful house he had, the oval circular house overlooking the golf course. Wow. And
And
he
don't
wound up
forget the
selling that.
Great Dane dogs too. He had
He
two dogs.
loves he loves dogs, and I love that. I know some people. Alan doesn't come across well to some people because he's a genius. This guy is a Penn graduate, highly intellectual, really smart, IQ wise off the charts, but sometimes doesn't have the best social graces. Let's call it that. I had to stop him from cursing, and I was like this in the background. He didn't even say it, but yeah, you're allowed to curse though. Listen, I curse once in a while, very rare, but I do curse. But before we get into all that, I want to tell people thank you very much for liking, subscribing, commenting. Great comments on the last few shows. Even on Alan's show the other day, I read them all. I just didn't get back to you guys yet, but I will. It's just tournament time. It's crazy. I'm getting requests to do lots of interviews on my other shows, my Fox show, and just in general. Everyone, I did JT the Brick yesterday. I did Mad Dog Radio. Just everyone wants some winners. So I get it. I get it. But
And the new wager talk.
and oh yes, and the new wager talk. As a matter of fact, it's something that I wrote something down about that. Listen, wager talk is has been around for years, and they made me an offer I couldn't refuse, like The Godfather. They've been trying to get me over there for years. I'm still keeping right now. The Krack wins is still going to be open for now, but I am doing some stuff on wager talk, some packages like just March Madness package or a daily package or weekly package. But listen, you know me. I'm not a good self promoter. If you didn't mention it, Randy, I would. How many times do I mention Krack wins on the show throughout the year? Zero. I don't even talk about it. So if you didn't mention it, which thanks for mentioning it. Actually,
Yeah,
people don't. I know some people. So go ahead, Randy.
the old Ted DiBiase line. Everybody's got a price.
Listen, I got to tell you too. What I sell is real stuff, though. I mean, just yesterday I sold over 152.5. I give out on a game, went to 158, led to 157. Give out -3 on a game, it went to 6. Thank God they won by like 25. But you started out 3-1 with Wager Talk yesterday, so that was good. People aren't going to like you for selling games. I sell real stuff. I sell stuff different than anyone out there maybe Red Angle Sports, their stuff moves. My stuff moves, so it's going to move the market. But and people aren't going to. There's a portion of people aren't going to like that. I get it. You want to do your own research. You want to find your own beat reporters. You want to do your hours and hours like me and my team do. Good for you. If you want to just
Bill,
work
what
your
people
9-10 hour days.
People like most about you, you're transparent, and we're all transparent. When we're losing, we're losing. We tell we're losing, and no made up records. When we're winning, we're feeling good.
Listen,
that's the way it is. That's the way my other partner, Vegas Ringers, is. David Miller, you know him as well.
Good guy. Good guy. Listen, I don't do that BS. I'm 7-2 in my last 2 days. I mean, all I did was tell you guys what I did on WagerWire day one. But you're not going to catch me doing that. What did you do last month? What did you do for the year? Well, I have a transparent write-up every single month on my app, how I did that month. And, I think I lost 2 months last year out of 10. Out of 12, 10 winning months. I'm going to tell you, though. I'm going to write it up. I'm going to let you know what it is. So I'm very transparent. When I get one of these idiots on Twitter or something saying something coming at me, listen, I usually don't argue back. I just block and move. That's what I usually do. But why not just block? Just block and move on. They're under anonymity. They're real telephone tough guys. They want to say things there. They're the same people that come down to the studios where I do shows around the town. And can I get a picture? How you doing, Krack? I love you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure. But anyway, listen, people aren't going to like there's going to be haters. Someone said this the other day. I loved it. I'm stealing it from them. They didn't like Jesus. They hung him. They hung Jesus. If they're not liking Jesus, if there's a portion of people not liking Jesus, what shot do you got, Krack? It's so true. It's so true. So it really is so true. Let's give our first sponsor, Heritage, a shout out there. heritagesports.eu, and some of their perks they got again. I always make sure too. So I text to make sure they got 8% back on some monthly rebates, free March Madness. I mean, listen, but even though they're my sponsor, $5 million for a perfect bracket. I'll tell you one thing. You guys should give out $25 million. No one's getting a perfect bracket. However, they are giving $100,000 and $100,000 they're giving away the top 200 finishers. So free contest over there at heritagesports.eu. How about the 100% free sign-up bonus? By the way, I'm just reading off the site. 100% free sign-up bonus. A 50% reload. heritagesports.eu. They've been around a long time. So you're going on almost 30 years here. And listen, no one can last for 30 years, it doesn't seem like, but they've been around that long. All right, that's our first thing. So let me go into a couple other things here. Let's start right out with the March Madness because usually I don't go right to Randy. I'll go right to Randy because Randy said I got some March Madness things. Randy, tell the fans what you're talking about March Madness. And you said you have some picks and selections. I want to see if you match me, match Boston. Let's see what you got in these first 2 rounds here.
Yeah, I got some decent picks here. And that's what, during the season, we're like more numbers guys. And then when we get into this NCAA tournament, I kind of do some handicapping. So we had 6 picks openers here and a lot of chalk, actually. That's how the numbers came out. St. John's minus 18.5. Hate Lane, big numbers, but there they are. Very contrarian on this play. We're on the Michigan side of the game against UC San Diego. Feel like Michigan got a bad draw, but they should be able to cover this spread against a smaller school in UC Michigan. The other pregame pick we had, we laid 28 with Houston. Another big number, but that's what our numbers spit out. One upset pick was Grand Canyon, one of the later games on the board, betting number 807. We got them plus 11. And then a couple more chalk, Alabama minus 22 and Purdue minus 8. So that's a 6 pregame picks we got. And I'll get into my first halves when Bill comes back.
I'm here. I just had the screen off. Randy, did you just, by the way, nice match there with Grand Canyon. I actually threw a peanut on the money line too. That's one thing I'll do, by the way. Because I have so many places to bet, I will throw, let's say $100 for the game. I'm just giving out to people so it's layman's terms for you guys. $100, but I'll still throw $5 or $10 on the money line. Now, I have a lot of places to check. Let me pull up my non-bets here. Hold on one second. I have a lot of different places to bet, though. So I'm not saying do it against one sports book. But if you have multiple places, and don't mind me hitting the screen here, guys. Let's see Grand Canyon to give you exactly what I mean. Okay, so I look across the screen. I'm looking at plus 420s, but then I have some plus 465s. So you have to have lots of different here 470. There's a 470, plus 470. But here's a plus 400. Where's that? William Hill. William Hill has minus 550, come back 400. Real nice of them. So there you go. Now, if you're stuck with William Hill, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take plus 4-1 when I could take 465. I have a lot of places. And if you're serious, and I talked about this in the past, guys, serious to me is betting $100. If you bet $100 or more, you darn well better have more places to shop than one. So that's something I want to say to also. I know I'm a broken record when it comes to that. So, Randy, I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised at some of those big favorites. Now, last year was a big year. I understand last year was a big year. These first, I'll even say the first two rounds, Thursday, Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, for the favorites, though. So you're on some of the favorites, though, may even be against me. You want to can you just give out the games without any explanation again? Just because I want to just see the lines that you got, or just tell me the teams that you got these first two rounds, the full lines. What'd you get?
And then I have 11 first halves too, when we can get into those.
Oh, wow.
But
all right. Yeah.
But the pregame sides we got right now are St. John's, Michigan, Houston, Grand Canyon, Alabama, and Purdue.
Okay, good. St. John's, still about the same. By the way, a lot of these are still the same line. You know, tomorrow, Randy, they have Virgin Casino here with zero juice. So I'm going to go down there and see what it's like, just to see, because I think it's going to be. I guess I can curse, a shit show. It's going to be crazy down there. They're going to have 4 windows open. I went in already because I gave my tax information because I don't want to be held up tomorrow because of it. And you have to sign up for a card. They're taking up to $3,000 juice free on all the games for tomorrow. You can only bet the 16 games that are tomorrow, all juice free. So we're going to see what that's like tomorrow. Which that means is I'll use a low game. Let's use a low game here. Let's use let's use Michigan UC San Diego. So Michigan UC San Diego, they have a minus 2.5. Well, if they have a minus 2.5 and everyone lays it with the 2.5 for max bets of $3,000, which they're taking, sooner or later they're going to have to move it to 3. So there's no other way to say it. How can you not lay the 2.5 and take the 3? You got a free shot on a key number. Now I don't know if they're going to allow you to do that per se, but it's so easy to have you and your buddy both in there. I mean, it's really simple. Now, not that I'm saying I was planning to do that, but I will do that if I get a chance to do it. Absolutely, I'll do that. So we're going to see what it's like. So there, I just told everyone. I just told all the telephone
gonna have somebody
guys.
wait in line for you, or have get the.
I'm actually, believe it or not, it's going to be. The reason why I say it's going to be a shit show is because I think it's going to be situationally, because they have 4 windows open, but yet I don't want to really go after Virgin because they're trying. They're really trying. Randy, they don't have the lines up in there. There's nowhere to see the lines up inside the sports book. You have to take a step outside the sports book to see the lines. So you have to go to the counter and ask for rundowns like the old days. You have to say, give me a rundown. Give me every game. I guess. I mean, there's no you could take the sheet. I got the sheet of paper in my bag purposely. Hold on, guys. I actually got the sheet of paper.
John, you going to go down there?
I'm going to skip this one.
It might be a pretty good betting opportunity for you. I mean,
yeah.
John, get the bankroll in action, John. Let's go.
Yeah.
Enough of this bullshit with the poker, John.
I mean you're getting juice free. This is a time to get the buddy out there.
No,
he wish I was in town for that.
He wants to lay to 110. Anyway, I got their sheet in my bag somewhere. I actually went and got the sheets. Oh, here it is. So the reason why I got this, because they might not even have any of these ready left tomorrow. So I have the sheet. I'm going to go to the counter. That's right. Even I'm going to go to the counter and have to write down every game what the line is. And I know it's zero juice, but that's the way it's going to be. I hope it's better than it was presented to me anyway.
Just on sides, correct?
Just on sides, no juice, which is a great deal. Wow. It's really hard to beat this market day of the game. So to have no juice, but so I'll be there. So all the telephone tough guys that want to go on here, they can come down and you can say whatever you want to my face.
Well, hats off to Virgin for at least trying that.
Yeah, Mohegan Sun was running the gambling there. They're gone. Mohegan Sun is gone. They have pulled up, so now Virgin's booking their own stuff. That takes the handcuffs off of the host and the different people that work there that are marketing wise, because that was my home court. I love the Hard Rock. John and I have been there together.
Oh,
I
me
love
too.
the Hard Rock. Oh my
me
God.
too. Yeah.
It was so good back in the day. The center bar, everything was set, section.
Yeah.
Everything was centered around the center bar. There you go.
Krack, I don't know what it's called now.
And the new joint, the old joint, new joint.
Yeah.
I don't know. You remember Mr. Lucky's?
Yes, the coffee shop.
I don't know what it's called now, but it's still the same food and it's still great. I ate there with my buddy Roger from Detroit. Yeah, it's still great food. Yeah.
All right. Well, they're not charging for seats there too, which is a real small sports book. I was at the Silverton yesterday because the manager over there is a nice guy, and I said, I'm gonna throw a tweet up for you guys. We got like 25,000 views, and people were saying, "What are you doing? You're giving our free spot away," because it's a hidden gem. They got about 40 seats. 40 seats. They're all free. Then they have tables and booths with ridiculous minimums, like $500 for 4 people. If you bet $500 total combined, you're 4 people throughout the whole day. You can sit at the table for free. If you bet $2,000 at one of the booths, you could sit at the booths. If you bet $2,000 between all your group, like 5 people could fit in there. It's a great deal. They're not even charging nothing. So, and people got mad at me. Oh, you're giving away our hidden gem. Well, down the street, the South Point too. They have parties for free and great food. And you guys know what I think about the South Point. So, so last bit of something. Let me just tell you guys a little advice here. So, people asking me, Krack, I like to bet this, I like to bet that, and $5. Listen, I'll tell you right now. Listen, I know tomorrow when those screens come up and there's the little boxes and boxes, everyone watching. They get so excited and they lose a game. They want to get to the next game and bet that game, even though they weren't planning to bet, but they lost. Listen, you guys want to enjoy the games. I'm giving you advice I've never given out before, except for this last week on a couple shows. You want to bet $5 or something on a 5 or 6 teamer, have some fun, 5 grocery dollars, a very small portion of your bet size, or have action on every game. You want to bet $5. I get it. If that can control you and slow you down from chasing and betting crazy amounts of money, because maybe there's a potential you make money, I'm never going to recommend any parlays. This is a rare thing. So I'm just trying to calm people down ahead of time. And as a matter of fact, John will be the best example. He will have parlays in action. I don't care what he says. Tomorrow he'll be betting. You're gonna watch the games though with your buddies at were you going to Durango? You said
Durango. Yeah.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Is that before or after the Gamblers Anonymous meeting? I'm just asking.
I'll work that in the evening, right after dinner.
That's good.
Something to do. Yeah.
That's great. Great. Oh, by the way, John, is your dad still in town, or did he finally go back?
He's still in town.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a line from The Godfather. We shot him with 5 shots and he's still alive. All right, good.
Right?
No, great. No, he's the best. So, guys, I want to get into a subject matter, and the subject I'm going to get into is a little bit of a down subject. It's close to my heart. I wanted to open the show with it, but I didn't want to get that sad early in the show. One of my best friends passed away at 55 years old, and Craig Crosby. He was in good shape too. Guy was like 6'2", 180 pounds, in good shape, but he had type 1 diabetes, which was, he had it under control, but then somehow medically he ran into some bad doctors and he lost his toe. And I talked to him 8 days ago, and he told me that he's doing okay, but his blood sugars are real high. We don't know how he died, but his daughter, called me up and she was very upset and said, Dad died. And I love his kids, his 3 kids, Courtney, Zach, and Josh. My heart's out to them. He's having a service. And I said, guys, it's in the middle of March Madness for me. I love the guy. And he would, let me tell you something, Craig, he was my buddy. He'd be the first one to say, are you crazy? You got to bet your games. No way. I don't want to remember Craig that way either. I don't want to remember Craig like I remember Craig. People don't know this. I lived with Craig. We lived at Vera Towers or City Center when they first opened. We had a sick unit there. It was crazy, overlooking the whole city. I knew someone there that was running the City Center when they first opened. They gave us a place for $2,000 a month. I know it might sound like a lot for 10 years ago or whatever it was, 12 years ago. It wasn't, because that place is renting for $6,500 a month now. It's crazy. But I had a lot of good times with Craig. And I knew Craig, I think, from Randy McKay. I'm not positive. Randy, did you introduce me to him?
Yeah, through another mutual friend of ours that he set up a deal with our mutual friend, and then he started giving us deals at casinos, and just kept going as he kept moving from Treasure Island to first time I met him was Planet Hollywood.
That's where I met him. I met him at Planet Hollywood. With you?
Planet Hollywood, yeah. Treasure Island. Tropicana was his last one in Vegas, if I remember right.
No. Treasure Island was last. He went from Planet Hollywood. By the way, he was an executive. He was an executive host, and he had some big jobs. Craig had jobs. He was making a fortune. And let me tell you,
he was the tournaments.
Yeah, one of the first
tournaments and some of those baccarat ones.
One of the first people ever I was schooled by Craig Crosby. And a lot of the things you guys hear on these shows, that comes from Craig. I'll tell you right now. Because one thing I'll tell you, I learned so much from Craig. And he definitely wasn't a company man, because he bought business. He gambled himself, by the way. That's the reason why. By him gambling, knowing, what the pulse of the business was, he bought business. But however, being that company man, not being the company man that he was, because he would give you a lot. Craig would give you a lot. But by doing that, he earned a ton of money for the companies he worked for. A ton. When you have some of these places, the last joint he worked at, Treasure Island, he was a big executive. He was with Mr. Ruffin almost every day. And Phil liked him a lot. Mr. Ruffin liked him a lot. And the guys that worked for Ruffin, some of those guys, they're still there. The antiques are still there running the place. If the old man upstairs in the office knew what a lot of these antiques do to run off business, he would fire every one of them. Trust me, he would. But he's very well kept away and hidden from what really goes on by some of those antiques that have run the joint. And one of them retired, but it was put out to pasture like a war mule, a war horse. But there's still a couple guys there. They don't like me. I walked by. Hey, Randy and John, I walked in the place about 6 months ago. He'll see this. But good. I walked in the place, and I came down the escalator and walked in the place, and he seen me and stopped. He stopped and turned around. What are you doing here? I said, wow. Because I know I'm going to fuck with him now. I'm cursing. I don't care. Get mad. I said,
like it.
What are you doing? You're still in the business? Wow. And you know what he does? He goes, I watched you. I seen you give out a loser on Fox. Loser. I mean, meanwhile, Fox Sports Radio was my number one thing of giving out plays last year. I ran so stupid, like 59.5%. They finally tracked it. But yet this idiot wants to talk because he can't help himself. He has to he's so insecure. He's been stealing paychecks for so long without the old man knowing upstairs. He sees me. He stops. He freaks out. Do you know what he did? He said, well, what are you doing? What's going on? I said, no, I'm going over to the deadpan Keely Smith face. I said, no, I'm going over to the crap pen. I'm going to start pass posting a little bit, trying to steal a little money from you guys. He gets on the phone and calls surveillance. Krackomberger's in the building. Swear, this is what happened. This is what happened. Right in front of me, he did. I said, guy, you better get home. You did your 6.5 hour shift. You don't look good. You better get home. I was waiting for him to 86 me out of the building. They may now. I may go in there just to see if they trespass me. So, but Craig worked there. and Craig bought business. I remember he had Phil Ivey in there, the great Phil Ivey. Craig had Phil Ivey as a player. Phil Ivey went in there and literally blew like 300,000 playing craps. The next time he was there, he was winning like 150 or 200,000. The numbers don't matter. I'm not exactly right, but it was something like that. And this guy retired, actually. He starts yelling at Craig, Craig, this Ivy you brought in, he's got the table full of max bets. He's making come bets 2 ways to the number, and he's placing them. What are you doing? This guy's actually trying to win. Isn't everyone trying to win? Like this is the old school mentality. They're the same guys that are kicking the crap dealer under the table. Get the dice out. Run people over. 7 out. Let's go. Get the dice out. Don't let the customers rule the game, control the game. Meanwhile, all you got to do is open the fucking doors and just let the people come in. They're going to lose their money. But a lot of these old timers, the old school guys, and it's not just Treasure Island. A lot of places around town. I told you that guy I seen over in when I was cashing out a check recently in one of the casinos, different casino, grouchy old bastard coming in there with his give this guy a check. Like he doesn't even know what's going on. He just knows someone's getting a check for 25,000. Just total idiots. But you see, I go off on tangents. I'm sorry, guys. I get a little thing. I want to go back to my.
Greg would have liked that. Greg would have liked you bringing that up. That's
Listen. I want to tell you something. I learned more things from Craig. I learned more. I copied notes down from him even so many times. I said, Craig, hold on. Say that again. I got to hear that again. I got to write it down because he was a rare person in the world. Craig had so many street smarts, and book smarts. You don't see that a lot. You don't see someone so college educated, but so street smart. He was a really good kid. He was one of my best buddies. I talked to him once a week. How many times did I do the podcast from his apartment in Atlantic City? How many times, John, did I do his podcast from Atlantic City? That was in Craig's podcast, overlooking the ocean. You were there once. We went to dinner together. Craig went
to dinner at that little Italian spot. They had the great bread. They had chicken parm. It was great.
Little hole in the wall.
Nice man.
He snuck behind to the jukebox and he put in Tony Orlando music.
I remember.
Started playing.
I remember.
Oh, man. I had a lot of fun with Craig, and I didn't expect this. This is something, you understand, I just spoke to him 8 days ago. I spoke to him every single week. Once a week or once every 2 weeks, me and Craig would talk for hours on the phone. Craig was the type of guy, I'd stay with him for weeks in Atlantic City. And, back when the DraftKings, the FanDuel, all the sportsbooks were taking bets at the counter when they first opened, they were giving out six stupid bonuses, too. That I stayed with Craig all the time. So I used to go with him, and I said, Craig, let's go out to dinner. Come on, I'm taking you to dinner. He goes, no. We're not going to dinner. No. We're ordering Chinese food, and we're going to watch Rounders. I said, Rounders? Craig, we've seen it 5 times.
I love it.
Craig was like me. He had the attention span of 50 movies on a spiral, going over Rounders, Goodfellas, Casino. He loved Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street. I can go on and on.
Love it.
He watched the same movies over and over again. And we watched The Sopranos every year. One of the last things I showed him was the making of The Godfather called The Offer. He loved it. We watched every episode. We power watched it in 2 days. We had so much fun together, Craig and I, over there. I stayed with him all the time. It was a sport, too. He reached into his pocket. Right away, he wanted to. I said, Craig, you're not paying. I'm paying. Like, he would go try to pay behind you. He was just a sport. He was a good guy. We're going to love him and miss him. I love his kids. I just wanted to dedicate the show to him, like I said. And thank you guys for hearing me out. I appreciate it. I know it's not the type of show we are, but I'm telling you that I learned a lot of my stuff that I do in life from Craig Crosby.
And hosts are really important in our life. We come across a lot of them, and he was one of the better ones. That's for sure. Cracks had a lot of good ones. I've had a lot of good ones over the years, and they're well worth tipping too. If you have a chance to extra tip the host, definitely do it. With most of them won't take cash or anything. You got to give them gift cards, like Cracks probably mentioned. And I've done that as well. So you just got to take care of them, because they'll, something comes up that's big, they'll tell you about it.
Which hosts don't take cash, Randy? I didn't know that.
No, there's a few that don't.
Yeah, well, I got to find one. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You know, it's funny. I tried to give one of my hosts just on the slash trip money. You're right, Randy. He's a gift card. No, I gave him free bets from the sports book instead. But speaking of which, I was down. You guys know I was down in Florida. I was back east in Connecticut. I was down in Florida, and boy, they are busting every human out in Florida. I feel bad for what's going on down there. I've said it before in this spot. Those casinos are so packed. I cannot believe what's going on down now. Granted, it's the snowbirds down there too right now. That Hard Rock Tampa, #1 casino in the United States, makes more money than anywhere. No casino in this town makes as much as Tampa. So Tampa, #1, Hard Rock Hollywood, #2. That's how much money they're making. By the way, I actually love those casinos. They're beautiful. Which, I mean, they don't have any good video poker at Hard Rock Hollywood, but and not a lot of the bonus machines. Tampa probably has more. But I had a good, and I lost. Like I actually took a little loss down there. But I went to a different casino and actually made a little bit of a score. So all in all, from the Connecticut, Florida trip, I made like $3,000. But I lost about 10 in Hollywood. I was up about 13 times till they whacked me. But I love the pool there. The pools there are great. Oh my God, it's a great dinners, pool, steakhouse. Go ahead, Randy.
Any spring training baseball?
I bet I told you guys last week. I bet. Oh no, it didn't go to any. I bet a couple.
Didn't go to any games.
Tampa's great, isn't it? Even Fort Myers and stuff. They have like Boston, Minnesota, the Phillies down by Tampa there, Clearwater. The Yankees, of course. The Yankees are there. The Yankees are there. Speaking of which, guys, what's going on here? The Dodgers had 2 regular season games because it was in Japan. No, yes. Because it was in Japan. Like, is that like the season don't start for another 8 days or something? Like,
Dodgers played the Cubs the first 2 games of the season last night and the night before, 3 a.m. Yeah,
really. Yeah,
I'm glad you brought baseball up.
Yeah, no, go ahead, John. Now, John, I'm sure you played the over season wins, and they're 2-0 right now.
Listen to me. I'm begging you guys to listen to me. Okay, it's the easiest money. I know you don't like when people talk like that. Dodgers minus 1.5. Just do it every day.
What is that? Oh, John.
Is it why? Crack. No, listen. It corrects the line, and they're gonna win by more than 2 most of the year when they do win. Their offense is just too powerhouse. They've got the pitching. When the Dodgers win, they are going to cover minus 1.5. They won the first 2 games of the season already, covered minus 1.5. Randy, I wish you would track this. You're the numbers guy. Krack won't listen to me. Randy, how do I get you into this bet? How do I get you to buy into this? You know the Dodgers are going to win 100-plus games. No, he shakes his head no. Tell me why.
No, you're not getting Randy to do it either. I want to see if they have regular.
Take a break during baseball season and enjoy my life a little bit.
Oh, you're being nice about it. I wanted to see if they had the adjusted season wins up for the Dodgers here. I do not see an adjusted season wins. No. I just want to see if there was an adjusted. Yankees are 88.5. They went down a little bit, 80.5, 120. Anyway, I wanted to see if they had it adjusted. John, it's priced in when you're betting day by day. People all know the Dodgers. Gigs up here. They know what's going on with the Dodgers. They know the Dodgers are that good. So it's going to be priced in that people are going to be laying a run and a half minus the juice. Maybe you would lay $1.50. Now it's going to be $1.55 or $1.60 because people are betting that way. I'm not saying every game. And by the way, I'm not even saying it's not going to be a winner. This could be an ultimate crazy team. But I wouldn't recommend doing that. But hey, I'd like for you to track it. Let's see what happens. I'd love for you to track it.
Krack, if we know the Dodgers are going to win 100 games, do we agree on that? They may not shatter the records, whatever. They're going to win 100 games. So you know they're going to win 100. They're going to lose 62.
They're going to lose 62. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, some of the 100, they're going to win 4-3. They're going to win 5-4. So
agreed.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. I'm tracking this. I'm tracking it.
I wasn't going to say this. Someone told me this today. Someone actually said to me, hey, Billy, a sharp guy too, a sharp old timer, been around. He goes, Billy, the biggest Oh boy, I can't think I'm even going to say this. He's going to
Say it.
fuel the ego. He goes, the most games the Dodgers lost last year in a row was 5. I said, oh, all right. He said, so I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking about $100 every game and double up and triple up. And like, I was like, no, you can't, because by game 6, you'll be laying $5,000 to win $100. And if you lose that, then you're going to be laying $15,000 to win $100. No, you can't just, because he's saying, oh no, you'll be winning a lot more. And he said, I think this is a good idea, but that you can't do that. That's like one. Yeah, Martingale, one of the scammers that we used to know. He may have been on a show on Showtime. That's the bullshit he did. Boy, I'm cursing left and right today. You got angry Krack, sad Krack. You guys. Anyway, I hope you are. I hope you're right though, John, for you, because I don't want you to lose no money, and I don't want you to have to tell more stories and stuff in that meeting of yours.
You guys brought up the Yankees. I got them under 92.5.
Yes. That's what I'm saying, Randy. I haven't checked till today. Wow, did that go down? Jesus! After Cole went down,
their top pitchers out for the season.
Yeah.
Krack, is there ever a situation where you should martingale something?
No, not that It's a great question, Robert. I shouldn't say that. I should go to more of the math guys for that. I was taught never to martingale anything in my entire life, Randy.
Yeah, I'm pretty old school on that too. I was taught never. In fact, I go the opposite. I follow the streak rather than go against it.
All right, let's go to John.
For what?
Martingale, double and triple up.
Listen, I know you don't like this strategy, but I'm telling you, here's what I would recommend. You don't think there's something to look at the calendar, look at the Dodgers schedule, just the Dodgers, and go, okay, they can sweep this series and just go for 3 in a row. And just let it ride. And you're trying to catch the Dodgers on 3-game win streaks. You don't think there's something to that?
I'm just going to GoDaddy to reserve this VegasJohn.com. Okay, good. No, it's no big deal. It's good. I shouldn't do it.
But why not? Why?
Okay, got it.
I'm trying to make gambling great again. All
right? I know.
I'm trying to make it fun.
I know.
No, he disagrees. Well, so far I'm 2-0. I'd be 2-0.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
I told you guys about how bad when I was down there, Florida. There's a lot of, I told you guys, when someone goes on the lam, they go to Florida or Las Vegas. That's simple. South Florida or Las Vegas. More of those. So many of those guys. I was approached by some guys selling jewelry. After we filmed that day, I that night I said, look at this. If it was a day earlier, these these guys with the Yankee hats and sunglasses. I think so many people think they're John Gotti down there. I know these guys are in hiding. I don't know if you shouldn't be in witness protection right in the Hard Rock. That's all I can tell you. But I'm just trying to have some fun here. Go ahead.
There's never a scenario where you try to, I would call it taking a shot. Like what you guys do is you're grinding. Is that fair to say? You're finding the edge, and over time, day in and day out, that edge proves for you guys to be profitable. But isn't there ever a scenario where you go, you know what? Let's try to crush it this week, and let's take some shots. No, never.
That's not the way I live my life. No,
I did that some with free bets, John. I already told you my Michigan State 38-1.
Yeah,
right.
We said that on the show that day. I got off air and seen that. So yeah.
If you got
where I think there's things like that where you take shots where if they're giving you free money, take a shot at it.
I'm sorry.
You got all these March Madness brackets. Take your shot, try to fill them out. Maybe you'll hit one.
You didn't misunderstand me, Krack. You didn't misunderstand me. I'm saying, why not just try to catch a streak and just double up and just catch a streak.
You're right.
Never.
I didn't
2 or 3.
You.
No, I know you didn't. Like a 2 or 3 game streak doesn't have to be crazy. Teams win 3 games in a row all the time, especially first place teams, especially World Series caliber teams. Why not?
They're a special team. They really are. You're right.
He's letting me down easy, Randy. He's letting me down easy.
They're projected to be a special team. So and only special people like you can do this. So good for you. Hey,
Fair
Robert.
enough.
Yep, let's run it.
Let's go to WagerWire and see what they got going this week. I'll tell you, they have changed my mind about things. I looked at these buyouts. There was another company years ago. I used to have wars with them about the way they did buyouts with people, and you can buy out. You know, I'm not one to cash out when it says gives you a cash out price. You know, I know MGM, DraftKings, FanDuel, a lot of the other ones now. Even the regulated, the non-regulated ones are doing cash outs now and offering you ridiculous prices. So let's look at this week's WagerWire to see what they're involved in, and let's see what Randy and I and John all think about it.
Yeah, we got a parlay here, a 4-legger. Scotty Scheffler, a ticket to win in golf outright. Kansas City Chiefs to win the AFC Championship. Ohio State to win the FBS Championship. And the last remaining leg here is going to be Duke. And they had that as the last leg of this parlay. $50 if they let this ride would pay out, and it hits $77,000. So
something doesn't seem right. Is it? There's not really any big giant, or maybe Duke. That seems like a lot of money for $50. 4-1 times 370. It just seems like a lot. Wow. But then again, it's a 4-team and not a 3-teamer. And so now, what was the offer here, or did the ticket sell, or is it a first sale? Like, what was the deal here?
Yeah, so the ticket has not been sold yet, based on what we were told yesterday. So yeah, you've got. I mean, anything can happen in March Madness, Krack. Would you feel comfortable even betting Duke outright at that price right now?
No, it's actually good odds right now. Yeah, Duke 11-1
because it's plus 300 as of today.
That's what I'm saying. It's good odds right now, but I see. Oh boy, listen, the $50 doesn't mean anything to even like most of us, anybody really. But the 77.5 means a lot, even to me, of course, even to us guys like Randy and everybody. It means a lot. I wouldn't mind having a partner on this, but I'll tell you, I hate to give away so much edge. It depends on how much money they're going to offer me for half of this ticket. But I would not sell my half of the equity in this situation. You know, I have Duke. I filled out brackets. I have Duke to be in that final game. You'll be able to hedge a lot more. The later you go, I think you'll be able to hedge a lot more here. So to take a buyout now and someone's going to lowball you, I wouldn't do that. I have Duke being in the final. So what do you think, Randy?
Yeah, I was trying to find Duke's yes/no price. And
I got it.
I couldn't find it. I looked at Circa here real quick, and I couldn't.
Circa didn't have a yes/no.
I couldn't find it. I was looking through it, but I couldn't find it.
Okay.
And maybe look at Duke. No, I don't. That might be a decent. It's all going to come down to their best player if he's healthy. That Cooper Flag.
I think he's healthy. Minus 425, Randy. Yet plus 325. Yeah.
Yeah. So you could look at doing the no there if you want to lock something in. You know, I don't think they're giving you a really bad deal there, but
right.
You know,
in other words, we would want more back but you never know with the WagerWire. Yeah, I need to know that number. If I get that number and I can work out the math with the minus 425, yeah, you're right. This could be something special. So, but you're right. It all depends on Cooper. You're 100% right.
So that's one thing about a yes/no market where it really helps you on these kind of bets that you can get. You could probably get out of that, or even try to find some kind of middle too, if you can do it.
Some places have.
Would you ever?
Here,
sorry, Rob, go ahead.
So the current value of this ticket right now is they have it valued at $19,000 with Duke to win at plus 300. So, yeah, this is a tough spot where anything can happen in March Madness. I feel like a lot of people would want to get out of the ticket and just go, hey, yeah, I'll wash my hands and take the chunk of money. I'm good. But then you have the other group of people who probably just say, I want the nuke. Give me all the money. Because if you're already making one of these, you're kind of risking a lot to begin with anyways.
556. I'm just looking. You know what? I want to tell you something, guys. I would 19,000. I am saying no to anything because I'll tell you why. I need, first of all, they're playing another playing game, but I, I would wait till deeper. It goes into deeper rounds when the ticket would be worth more, to actually come up with a price that I'd be happy taking. Even though I said like last week's, I was kind of interested in taking a partner on there. So, but this is interesting. This is why
Gambling for the
Krack.
Sweet 16 probably is the right move there.
right.
Crack.
Right,
So
John.
you wouldn't sell that ticket for 19K. Would you buy it?
No, I would buy it. Oh yeah.
You
Oh
would.
yeah.
You'd
Yes.
buy that ticket for 19K right now.
Yes, because it's going to be worth more after they win their first two games. Randy, you agree, right?
Yeah, you'll pick up probably 5,000-6,000 or
Yeah,
something.
5, 6. Not as much as you think, but you will pick up.
Oh, so
some
you
money.
wouldn't buy it. You wouldn't buy it right now to ride it out. You'd buy it just to flip it during the
Oh
tournament.
yeah, yeah. I'd buy it.
Got it.
Into it. Yeah, I'd buy it.
Got it.
Into it. So, yeah. No, listen. It's an interesting thing. It's really interesting when you look at these things, and well, everyone's calling me for games. It's amazing how many phone calls I've gotten. I need a game. I need
Now-
a game. Crack March Madness. Oh,
You didn't
great.
watch
Let me
it.
ask you guys.
You had a good tweet about the first halves. Yes, I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of what, let's get to John's point first. Go ahead, John. So you want to
Well,
say?
I was just going to say, you guys love hating on parlays. Does this kind of make you want to come on over to the dark side and start embracing parlay? No, Bill's already got a sour look on his
No,
face.
I told you what I thought. I told you what I thought. I got no problem with someone betting, a 5 or 6 teamer for $5 or something, having some fun because they see all the action and they want to
Right.
go on to the next game. I got no problem with that. Have a little fun. It's pizza money. It's what you go out and spend on a couple of drinks or something. I have no problem with
Right.
that.
And
Okay.
like you said, too,
Okay.
play some of those money line dogs too, like Grand Canyon
Yep.
or Yale. Yale's another one that could win outright. You'll get pretty
I'm
nice.
on Yale, and you know what? Someone's against me. I'm on Yale in that game. Let me just see if
a
it's
lot
still.
of people against you.
Oh, okay. No, it's we took 7.5, and then I seen 8 at game time, and now I can't find the game. Of course. Okay, hold on.
That's
I
one
wanted
of
to
my
see if-
first half plays is Yale +4 I seen out there.
Okay.
Might
Yeah,
be
it's still
better than
solid 7.5, and there's 4s everywhere. Randy, you can get +4 -05. Yeah. There's 4.5. DraftKings has 4.5, by the way. Oh, MGM has 4.5. So very interesting. Good deal.
Correct.
Well,
If you're
hopefully
gonna
they can hang around.
If you're gonna make a ticket like that, should you be doing that with your free bets that you get given?
Not a bad, very good, Robert. We like betting free bets, but we like betting them maybe in a little bit of accumulators with some money line. So maybe Yale money line there rather than actually taking up just a free bet on Yale itself. But it's a very good question. Randy, I want to go before we sign off here. We've been on here about 50 minutes. Randy, what do you got first half? Let's see if you match any of my things first half.
Okay, I'm looking at 5 first halves on Thursday and 6 first halves on Friday, all
ahead.
underdogs. And of course, there isn't a whole lot of market yet for these because they usually come out the morning of the game.
They just came up. They're up now. They're up everywhere.
I'm looking at-
Thursday. Yeah.
I'm looking at Wofford against Tennessee +11.5.
Okay.
Drake versus Missouri, they're up to 3.5, maybe even a 4. Yale versus Texas A&M. That we already discussed. Montana versus Wisconsin in the game I'm going to. I think they're going to give Wisconsin all they can handle that first half.
I'm with you.
And then the one favorite I did like, and it's cheaper this way to bet BYU because they got the home court advantage is in the first half -1.
Okay, I'm against you there. I have VCU. All right, go ahead.
You both could win that. And here's the Friday ones I'm looking at. 6 games, all underdogs. Oklahoma +3 versus Iowa State.
Yep.
Linsacombe +9 versus Kentucky. And I probably bet Linsacombe both ways in that one.
They're versus Iowa State, right?
Yeah. Or against Kentucky. Lipscomb's against Kentucky. Troy versus
No, Troy's playing Kentucky.
excuse me, Troy's versus
Yeah.
Kentucky. Lipscomb's not against them.
Iowa State. Yep.
Iowa State. Troy versus Kentucky +5.5. I like
+6
that.
everywhere. +6
I like
everywhere.
that both ways. Liberty versus Oregon. I think Boston really like Liberty just to win that
Yes.
outright. Look at first
Yes.
half, both ways. Akron versus Arizona. You know, that I think
Okay.
that's rated at 7.5, 8 points. And then of
Grand
course
Canyon.
our Grand Canyon +6.
Almost every game you said just now, there's a half point more at DraftKings. That's sick. No, it's so sick. I'll go across the board. Troy, all 6s, 6.5. You said Lincecum, all 8s, 8.5. I keep on going. It's unbelievable how many half points at DraftKings, but unfortunately I don't have access to DraftKings. So, but yeah,
anybody that can bet at DraftKings right now, they're all of them just about have this little. They have like these little giveaways. They have this in Blackhawk, where you can shoot the basketball and get extra money, and they give you apparel and all this other stuff. So keep it up, stuff for your local sports books too, because they all like to get people in there, and they all like to have these little giveaways.
Great time of the year for giveaways. Let's close with something from Jon, and I hope we could talk about it. Jon, how close are we to this new studio?
We're close. I was there yesterday in a meeting for a couple hours. We just got to iron out some logistics, and we will be in there, and you're going to love this place.
Really?
Inside
Great.
the palazzo, in the poker room. It's incredible. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Wow, this will be great. Guys, we really appreciate you listening, following, liking, and shout out to our buddy Robert here for handling us on the show and the time constraints and changing times, and Randy McKay for taking his time, and Robert, like I said, for doing that, and Jon, I really appreciate you guys year round, and the followers and the people that watching, and let's have a good March Madness tournament. We'll talk to you next week on Wise Kracks.